Why is everyone not loaded up? There we go. That's a little bit better. I don't know whether that was me or not. How's everyone doing? All right. Big up.
All good.
Monday we got here finally. Got over the weekend sadly, and yeah, we've got DJB to my right. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, all good, man. Yeah, welcome, and glad I'm here. And yeah, it's the Monday night, which is always look forward to this, sharing with Normski, Shane, and yourself. It's one show I always look forward to. And yeah, been a bit busy. I've done a stream with BBK straight from work, and
Yep.
then on with Lee, and now here. So I've been a bit in stream. I've been all over Streamland today. So
Everyone wants a bit of DJB. That's what it is. Can't get enough of him. Can't get enough of him.
He's trying to get my own shit. Yeah, it's all good though, brother. It's all good.
Yeah. Nah, that's good, man. As well, and underneath you, we've got an equal legend, and he goes by the name of Shane Gooner. How you doing? How you doing, Sean Gooner? You know, from Adam to Sean.
All right, man. All right, can't complain. Yeah, no, all good, all good. Yeah, apart from Arsenal, of course, like we always say, everything's pretty fucking hunky dory in my life. But yeah, we got a fucking weird thunderstorm up here today. It was weird. Everybody else I asked, what do you think of that thunderstorm? And everybody's saying, what thunderstorm? And I don't know if I'm just going nuts or if there actually was one. So
the gal's
there was everything. There definitely was. Because the dog was flipping out and all, like the dog was flipping out and all, but it was the weirdest thunderstorm I've ever heard. It didn't sound like a normal one. It was a mental one. I don't know, because we're up the mountains. Maybe it's the first one I've had up here. Maybe it echoes differently or something. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
it's weird.
The storm is coming. The Arteta storm is coming.
I'm telling you, man, the Arteta storm's coming. It's probably because since I've started getting an X account, maybe that's just the world's ending or something like that.
That's what it is. It's you're creating a fucking literal storm.
Yeah, maybe so.
Shane Gooner, mate, isn't it? That's what it is. He's fucking up the weather. Normski, how you doing, brother? You've had a bit of a busy one, haven't you, over the weekend?
Yeah. Listen, my back is gone, mate. Yeah, so I spent my wedding anniversary moving furniture.
Lovely.
So yeah, but no, listen, been married 34 years, so big up to Mrs. Normski.
Yeah,
so we've had to temporarily move out. So I'm in a totally different location. I've had to rent out Kenny Ken's house, so it's costing me an arm and a leg at the moment. But as you can see,
what's he charging? $5,000? $5 grand a week?
Yeah, I asked him to move the piano out, and he said, "No, you got to leave that in there." So, you know, I mean, I'm gonna have a little dabble on it later on. You know what I mean?
Just have a little go. You know what I mean? Why not? Get the fingers going.
But other than that, yeah, I'm all good, man. Looking forward to the show tonight. As I say, the only thing is with international. The international week, you know, it's a kind of bit of a board draw. Do you know what I mean? Saying so, you know what I mean. You're trying to find content and just searching, you know, the crevice. But I'm sure there's some top gooners out there saying some nonsense. So I'm sure we'll
there always is. To that. do you know what? I was on the phone to Shane earlier for a little bit, and we was talking very briefly about international football. And what I'd done for the England game, I found myself a little bit of time, and I was upstairs in the bedroom, and I thought, you know what? I'm actually going to put it on, and I'm telling you, I never watch the internationals unless it's the tournaments. I don't ever bother. And I thought to myself, do you know what? Sod it. I'm upstairs. I'm having a little 5 minutes to myself or whatever. I'll put the game on, and I'll tell you what. If there was ever a game to just remind myself why I don't watch England play football in international friendly or a qualifiers, it was that. I mean, I'm telling you, it was painful. Like I was watching it and I was sitting there and thinking, it was literally just pass you the ball. Yeah, I don't really want to make a run though. All right, no worries. I'll pass to the left. At one stage, Villa Park, I could literally hear. Do you remember in COVID football when you could hear like ball being kicked every time, and you could hear the players shouting to each other? It was literally like that. I'm like, Villa Park was like 80-90% full. And it was literally like COVID football, like an empty stadium. It was that dead and flat and void of like terrible, wasn't it? I don't know.
The Ireland match was amazing. The Ireland match was amazing.
Get it in there,
it was proper. Like no, it was proper. It was like a World Cup game. It was unbelievable. Had everything: red cards, goals, last minute goals, hard tackles, everything.
That's what you want to see, man. It's just killed it, and it with things like that. With especially when you're 3 games into the Premier League, to then have to stop it. You could see it in the players, boys. You could see it in the England players. You could see it in the Arsenal players, specifically the ones I was watching. They couldn't be asked to be out there. As soon as they got that goal, which was, by the way, was like an own goal, I think, by Andorra. They was just finished. They was like, that's it. We got the 3 points now. They're not going to do anything. It probably killed the game even more if that that was even feasibly possible. It was that poor. So
What Wenger suggested before, I think it was start the season 2 weeks earlier, and then between sort of 5 weeks in December, shut them down and get all the international matches done in the space of have them all play the whole follow-up one in the space of a month.
Yeah, too many international breaks. I mean, we've got 3 coming up before the Christmas break, and you've got all of the Christmas period plus obviously Champions League as well. So you know what I mean. There's something I'm gonna discuss on my show on Wednesday. You know, is it just too much? Is it ruining it? Do you know what I mean? I get it. It is World Cup year and all of that, and I understand that. But bro, you know, you're just 3 games in, and straight away we're into international breaks. Like what?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
It just kills any momentum, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Any that you're building up. I mean, some teams obviously they could benefit from it. Us obviously probably slightly benefit, which is what I'm going to speak about now. I'm going to bring DJB in with is of course Bill Saliba. Now he's got himself an injury. People will say, "Oh, I was just unlucky," and I heard a gal saying a little bit about it to Northside earlier. He was going, "You know, I was just unlucky. All of these things is we've started the season again, back again with the unluck. Oh, it's unlucky. It's unlucky. No, it's not. Right? He's injured himself in training." In the pre-match towards the game. That is what it is. Sometimes things just happen. Arteta said he twisted his ankle in training. Okay, that's absolutely fine if that's happened. But you chose, the manager, you chose to put him back out there. You've chose that. That is not unlucky. You've had an event that's happened prior to kickoff, and you have chose to roll the dice with Saliba's fitness. You chose to put him back out there. No one else did. It's not like it happened in-game from nowhere. That's just sometimes is what it is, whatever. That happened beforehand. He had a choice, Mikel Arteta, didn't he, DJB? He had a choice whether to put someone else out in defence or to play whilst he knows he's twisted his ankle, probably 15 minutes prior, 20 minutes prior, to put him back out there. That's not unlucky. That's poor management. That's poor decision-making. What do you make of it? Because he misses 7 games now, and I'll get him up in a sec, D. But 7 games, nowhere near good enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's a case of being like the teacher and the student, isn't it? I mean, the student wants to go out to play, but he's not towed the line, and the head teacher says, "No, sorry, you're staying in. You're not going out." And that's what Arteta should have done. He should have put stamped his authority on Saliba. Of course, Saliba was wanting to play. You know, he's gone to Anfield. He's done the pre-match warm-up. He's warming up. You know, his adrenaline's pumping. He knows it's a big game. Of course, he's going to want to play. But then Arteta should have Arteta should have said, "Look, put his arm around him." Says, "Look, bit of bad luck in the warm-up, but unfortunately, that's it now. Go and sit down, get some ice on it. Get it wrapped up, get down the tunnel, see the medical staff. I'm taking you out. You're not playing." But instead of that, he's gone, "Well, okay, go on, out you go." And he's played him, and it's made it 10 times worse. And people have been saying about, "Oh, well, that's what you've got the medical team for." Well, the medical team wouldn't have had time to assess that situation there. Because the medical team there, as far as they're concerned, he was fit to play. You do that during the pre-match warm-up. The medical staff are kind of in the back room with it. They don't quite know how bad the injury is until they fully assess it. And they've not had time to fully assess it. So by them not having time to fully assess it, Arteta should have then gone, "Right, okay, let's take him out. Let's get him on the bench." He shouldn't be anywhere near that team. He should have been taken out, and Arteta should have said to him, "I know you want to play. It's admirable that you want to play. I respect that, but unfortunately, no, you're not playing. I'm thinking of the long term. There's big games coming up. I'm not risking it." And he should have been just taken out of the equation. Now he's played. First couple of minutes, so it looks like to me he's done his ankle, and in the first couple of minutes into the Liverpool game, he's done it again. So he's got double jeopardy on the same ankle. So that one injury that might have been 2 weeks out has now gone to 4 or 5 weeks out.
Yep. He
And
might
it's
have been
just
back.
crazy.
He might have been
Again,
back
it's-
before or after the international, wasn't it? Dave?
Yeah, and again, it's just the players' welfare again. This is where Arteta hasn't learned, you know. He should have taken that decision. And people, as I said, the medical team are there to assess the situation and have time to assess injuries. But the bottom line is, he's the manager of the football team. He's got the authority to override the medical team. If the medical team says, yeah, he's fit to play, he's still in the position where he can turn around to the medical team and say, sorry, he's not playing. I'm the manager. I don't want him playing, and take him out. You know? So I just, yeah, for me, it's just another category of errors from this football manager by not taking him out. And I know people are saying, oh, yeah, well, they're bound to say that because they want Arteta out and everything else. Irrespective whether it's Arteta, no matter what football manager you're looking at, you show your authority and you've got a duty care to that player to look after them and not play them. And it obviously wasn't done. Crazy.
Yeah, he's failed again, isn't he? And this is the thing, yeah. If it was only one time, you'd go, look, the manager's made a decision and it ain't quite worked for him. It is what it is. That's how you'd take it. If this was a rare occasion or an odd thing for him to do, you would, wouldn't you? You'd just go, look, it is what it is. Sometimes it happens. But when you've got about 20, 30 other cases of him doing this, that's when you sort of look at things a little differently, didn't you? When you've got so much evidence, prior evidence of him doing a similar thing and being so careless with fitness, Shane, in it as well. You know, that's when you go, nah, this has got to be down to the manager. Not 100% with everything. Shit happens. But when it keeps happening and then you can pin it back and go, well, Mikel Arteta, in fairness, if he's got his big squad, Mascara's so great, why don't you start him from the start? Why don't you play someone else there? He's got options. It's his squad. He's chose at the end of the day, and Shane, to put Saliba out there, and it hasn't worked. He's got to then take the accountability for that decision, hasn't he?
Well, do you know what? Me and Normski are on the phone today, and one thing that we're all overlooking is that we're taking for granted that Arteta's telling the truth about asking him if he wanted to play. I mean, this is a compulsive lawyer. Maybe he didn't even ask him. You know what I mean? And you know what? If he did ask him, it would have been along the lines of, okay, are you fit enough to play, or do you want to let your teammates down? You know what I mean? He wouldn't have just said it. And the thing is, people are saying, oh, well, the medical staff this, the medical staff that. The medical staff can give him, right, look, I recommend that you don't play him. And then they go, right, well, thanks for your recommendation. And then you have these Semius out today. Semiu put out a short, man. And I mean, it's one of the most despicable things you'd ever see. He said, what was it? That we have to like sort of assume that it was an injury, right? That he got injured. He was carried off the pitch in the warm-up, right? He was carried off the pitch. And then when he talked about Arteta playing him, he said, and maybe we can disagree that Arsenal shouldn't have made him play. Didn't say Arteta, he said Arsenal should have made him. When in your life have you ever heard it being referred to a team making a decision? Like I referred it this morning to, that's like saying, oh yeah, in the 1999 Champions League final, Man United made a great decision bringing on Sheringham and Solskjaer. You know, it really paid off. But he said the way he worded it was, maybe Arsenal shouldn't have played Saliba. He couldn't say it. Couldn't bring himself to say it. Couldn't bring himself to say it. So this thing, it's absolute bollocks, man. You know, all you're hearing now of these fucking idiots, man. These top gooners. There's one of them sniffing around the chat now. How can it be the manager's fault? Because in their head, that's the way they think. It can't be. It can't be Arteta's fault. It can't be. Nothing can be his fault. Nothing can be his fault. I sent you a thing from X today where some lad said, I'd rather finish 8th with Arteta than 4th with anyone else. You know what I mean? That's the mentality of these guys because Arteta is king. This is what you're dealing with. But like you said, Aaron, if this is an isolated incident, we go fair enough, right? Okay, he made a mistake, he misjudged it. The way they're trying to word it, and then Semiu tried this is what he said, that our side are getting far too furious at saying that Arteta caused the injury, right? None of us said that he caused the original injury. Not one of us. What we said was once he got injured, you can't play him. But they worded it differently to try and make out that we just have an agenda. The fact of the matter is, Saliba picked up an injury. Whether he asked him if he wanted to play or not, it doesn't really matter. If he did and Saliba said, yeah, I want to play, you have to go, no, I'm sorry.
They're all going to say
Wenger,
yeah, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Of course they will. Adrenaline, everything. It doesn't swell up when you have adrenaline. You know, the point of the matter is it's his job to say, no, sorry, mate. Arsene Wenger in 2006, in the run-in for fourth place against Tottenham at Highbury, he held on Reebok, of all people, and said, no, I can't risk it. And he had the pressure of, if we don't qualify for this, with the Emirates and all that sort of stuff, he was under immense pressure. And he said, no, look, I can bring you on if we're losing. He did. He scored. The rest is history. We got Champions League. But he could have risked everything for that. Absolutely everything for that. Because that's a proper manager. This guy has Mascara on the bench. All this squad that we were told, once he gets the squad, he won't be pushing players. Where's that gone? That seems to have disappeared. Because we all knew it. It doesn't matter. He could have 40 players in his squad. He'll still play the same 11 all the time. We know it. But then they'll make excuses. But it's negligence. It's pure negligence. He knew the guy was injured. He risked him. The injury got worse. It's crazy. And nobody calls him out on it. And when they do, it gets flipped by all his minions who are out there dressing it up as this happens all the time. Players play injured all the time. Players do this, players do that. We've seen him with Ben White, 3 months on a knee injury. You've seen him with Declan Rice playing with a broken toe. We've seen him with players that are in the red many times. We've seen him rushing Saka back from a 6-month recovery, rushing him back in 3 months, just in time, amazingly, for the Madrid game. The guy does it all the time. And it's not isolated. He does it all the time. And he's going to keep doing it. He's going to keep doing it. And these players are going to be ruined, man. Saliba should leave. I'll lose a little bit of respect for him if he signs the contract. That's how bad I think it is now. I'd lose a little bit of respect for him if he signed the contract. I'd be delighted if he signs the contract, but I'd kind of go, taking the easy route there, mate. You know what I mean? Because you need to get out of here. But at the end of the day, this manager, it'll come out when he's gone. It'll come out in the years after he's gone. When autobiographies and stuff start coming out, this guy's going to get found out for what he is. And, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to him failing when he's gone. But look, I'm getting a bit carried away. You know that this is something that's close to my heart, that I hate the way he does this to players. I hate the way he gets away with it. But we'll see. We'll see as time goes on. But Saliba missing these big games. Luckily enough, we have a world-class player in Mascara. He's world-class now. People have seen him for 86 minutes, but he's world-class already. So we should be all right.
Mate, that's it. Done and dusted. Do you know what I mean? Who cares about Saliba now? You know what I mean? Now that we've got Mascara for 86 minutes, who cares? What do you reckon? I'm going to bring up the games he's going to miss in a second, Norms. But what's your whole sort of take on what?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just quickly. I mean, listen, everybody said what needs to be said, but just to say, this manager has previous. He has a duty of care to the players. We've seen what he's done with the likes of Saka. I remember Saka coming back from the injury where he had, his hamstring hanging off the bone. He's come back, rushed him back, and he said in an interview, 5 years straight, non-stop playing football. It was like a cry for help. Like, this guy's driving me to the ground. You know what I mean? In so many words, you can read behind the lines, and it's just something that this guy does. You chucked what's his name back on the pitch, Thomas Partey, when he was injured at Tottenham game. As you said, Shane said he blamed Declan Rice with a broken toe, Ben White with a knee injury. All of these things, you know what I mean? When Timber shouldn't have came back out for that second half. I think it was the first game that season when he played. I can't remember if it was the Nottingham Forest game. I can't remember too sure. But if he didn't come back out, maybe he wouldn't have been out with an ACL injury that kept him out for the whole season. So he has a duty of care. You look at Slot, and you see how he managed Liverpool last season. Yeah. And people, they're lucky. They're just lucky with injuries, And we're notorious. Arsenal are notorious. The top fans are notorious for blaming injuries and blah blah this, and all the injuries happened at the same time. No, they didn't. They didn't happen at the same time. So they will use the whole injury things. And as Shane said, we're not saying that Arteta is at fault originally for the injury, but the fact is, if you have a duty of care, if a player comes out and you know that he's not fit, now he's going to make it worse. Now he's going to miss 4 weeks. Listen, we say 4 weeks. In Arteta's words, it's 4 weeks. This could turn to 2 months. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just don't know. It could turn to 2 months, and I put it down to Arteta. He needs to manage his side better. And you look and think to yourself, look how many people are injured. It's the way he manages the side, and until he starts to learn that, and obviously trust the squad, because now all of a sudden now Mosquera has to come in now, and as we've all heard, he's potential world class. Yeah, 86 minutes of watching him world class, potentially world class. So we'll see what happens, because when the pressure does hit, we'll see how this guy operates under pressure. So yeah, so in a nutshell, he has previous, and he needs to sort of change away from that whole idea and philosophy of playing players into the ground and running them into the ground completely.
Yeah. No, in fact, I don't know if you boys can see that fixtures or not. I don't know if it's a little bit too small. Let me know and I'll zoom in. Give me 2 seconds. Let me see if I can zoom in from here a little bit. 1 second. But these are basically assuming that Bill Saliba is going to be out for that sort of period of time. I don't actually know how to zoom in on this. I'm so terrible with computers. Can you boys see that all right, or should I zoom in?
Yeah, just about.
He's going to miss, right? He's going to miss, obviously, right here now. Nottingham Forest, which is a massive game coming up. We all obviously know he's going to miss that anyway. And then he misses away Athletic Bilbao. That's quite an important fixture. But here's the one, obviously, Manchester City at home. Him and Gabriel have been unbelievable, really, by and large, against Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
You know, they've kept him quiet, especially Bill Saliba's had some real good sort of tussles with him over the last sort of 2 years or so. That's a real big one that Saliba's going to miss there. And you think maybe if Arteta would have taken what I would have chose as the best sort of avenue to go down in terms of not playing Saliba against Liverpool, if he knows he's got an injury, rather, he would have probably made that Manchester City game. He'd have probably made it. Right, League Cup game against Port Vale. Who really sort of cares? And then another massive one away at St James's Park. That's a massive game. Then you've got Olympiacos again at home. So he's missing 2 Champions League games, some real important Premier League games, especially, you know, Manchester City at home and Newcastle away. They're real bastards, they are. You'll miss his pace probably against Nottingham Forest on the counter-attack. And, you know, West Ham at home then, who actually we've been really poor against over the last sort of 2 years, especially at home, haven't we? They're big games, aren't they? They're not muggy Muppet games that he's missed. And Arteta has to take some stick for this. He has to take a black for that.
I mean, depending on what results we get in those games, that could be season over. So these are big games. And the fact that we lost against Liverpool, the Nottingham Forest game is absolutely massive. Because if you drop points there, then then the knives will be out. But listen, the Mosquera thing, he's got potential, but let's be honest, he's only just broken into the Premiership. You know, he's we still don't know what we're going to get out of Mosquera. But what we do know is our Saliba and Gabriel play as a partnership. And what we do know is that they've got vast experience playing as a partnership in big games like Man City. That's what we do know. What we don't know is how Mosquera is going to play against the likes of Haaland and players like that. So that is unknown. That's unknown to us. It's unknown to the manager. So they are massive, massive games that he's missing. All right. And it's true what Shane says. No, you can't blame necessarily the manager for the injury. But once he was injured, then the manager has to step in and show his authority. And he hasn't done it. The injury now is progressed. And they're massive, massive games that he's going to miss. Would he have played in the Port Vale game? Probably not. He might not have played in that one anyway. So let's take that one out. But the Newcastle away is massive. Man City at home is massive. And the first game in the Champions League. That is that's a massive game. Probably could get away with it against Nottingham Forest. Probably. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy work. As I said.
Go on, sorry, mate.
No. As I said, you know, they're banging on about our squad depth is and how massive our squad is. But is Mosquera going to come in and hit the ground running and team up with Gabriel and make a formidable partnership as if Saliba's there? We've seen cracks. We've seen cracks in the centre of our defence when one's gone missing, when Kivior's had to come in. And it's
Do you think Mosquera will be that player to start, or do you think that's that the lineup will be Gabriel and Mosquera? Do you reckon he will do that?
I think it will. I think it will be. I think he'll play that Hincapie at left back if he comes in, or he'll play Calafiori if he's fully fit at left back. There's no room for Skelly at left back, that's for sure. He's bombed out. He's gone, finished. Skelly won't be at left back. It'll either be Hincapie or Calafiori at left back. And I
do you know what? Going off topic, D, just quickly, it proves the point, or our point, all of our points, that Mikel Arteta only plays these young players when they're injured. Because look all of a sudden now, Calafiori's back injured, back playing for 3. He's fit for 3 games.
Yeah.
Lewis Skelly nowhere to be seen. Absolutely.
And you know the annoying thing about it all is, Aaron, is when Skelly came in at left back, all your top Arsenal fans and your Arteta and your top gooners were gassing up Skelly. Oh, he's brilliant. He's the best left back. He's an absolute masterpiece. Look what Arteta's done. He's uncovered a gem. Now suddenly Calafiori's fit. Everyone's gassing up Calafiori. So, they changed the narrative to suit them. Whatever this manager does, whatever he decides to do, it's a masterclass. When Skelly was put at left back, by default, by the way, he was put at left back because he tried Zinchenko there and he wasn't no good. Then it was injuries to Calafiori, so Skelly had to play there. And it was a masterclass. Now Skelly, for some reason or another, is not good enough to play left back. And now suddenly Calafiori's playing there and he's the next best thing since sliced bread. He's just using the youngsters as of when he can. He's not really progressing them. You look what he's doing to Nwaneri. Is prime example. It ain't gonna,
do you know what?
It's not going to work under this manager with them two.
Talking about Ethan Nwaneri, he played today in the under-21s and nicked himself a cheeky little player of the match.
Yeah, there you go.
Who knew?
Isn't it amazing how this guy has come away, put an even. Max Dowman got ahead of him against Liverpool. And this guy is further in his development than Max Dowman. This guy was, you'll play a massive role. You'll be more central. Sign a contract. Sell him the dream.
Yep. The narrative
he's way down the pecking order. He's way down the pecking order with this manager. Way down the pecking. He's too exciting. He wants to get on the front foot. He wants to make things happen. He takes chances. He takes risks. He excites people. He takes players on. He's not an Arteta player and proves it. Not playing. This guy was watching Kieran Tierney play right wing last season. So, come on, what chance has he got? Seriously.
I'm just saying what makes it worse is because Moreno's had a bit of a blast in the last couple of games, scoring a hat trick. That's just going to justify his place. I go back to that game against Liverpool and thinking to myself, you're starting this guy in front of Ethan Nwaneri. The disrespect that this guy's got, because they bigged him up, the whole signing thing and that, Aylan boy and all of that, only for Moreno to go and start ahead of him because according to Arteta, he had no other options. That's just blatant lie. You have a number 10 sitting on the bench. Yeah, Max Downham comes on before, and listen, Max Downham's an absolutely great player, but you can't say all of this about this guy, and then you end up putting Moreno ahead of him, and then you got certain man talking about, it's Arteta wanting to try this system out because he believes you have to play this system, and hopefully if the system works. Shane, he was on that show the other night, mate. I'll tell you what, bro. I'll say no more, mate, because you definitely entered the Matrix that night, mate.
What's that? The one on Catch's show? Is that?
Yeah. Listen, I was feeling it for him. I was absolutely feeling it for him, bro. I was trying to give him back up. I was set. But this is what we're dealing with, man. This manager, narcissistic, and just it's all about him, and he has to prove a point. He's stubborn. And at the moment, because of his stubbornness, a talented guy like this guy here is losing out. And if it was me, we said it at the end of the window. If it was me, I would be on to the agent and saying, "Look, move me on," because I'm just sitting on the bench doing nothing, mate. Come on.
100%, mate. Just quickly before I bring Shane in, Suge, big up to Suge and everyone else in the chat, by the way. Smash them likes up and don't forget to sub to the panel. The link is pinned for these guys in the chat, so make sure you give all of these fridge freezers a cheeky sub. Our brother, our twat in the chat, Suge, has come in with a super chat. Big up to you, you absolute legend, by the way, Suge. Hope you're all good, my friend. And he's saying to me, thank you very much. Big up the rejected fluffer, Brokeback Mountain. Bubbles look-alike midget. Fucking Brokeback Mountain, you wanker. Midget Adam, Mank loving, Father Brown looking peasant Sean, and the legendary Normski and DJB in the chat, of course.
Suge, man.
Legend.
You're an absolute legend.
Like,
It's a pleasure to have you in the chat. It really is.
Rejected fluffer. Thank you very much, Suge. You're coming out with some new ones now, aren't you? Cheers, mate. Absolutely thank you for that. What a legend, though. Come on, big up the Suge. We love a bit of Suge. Our twat in the chat. Our brother from down under. Come on, man. And BBK Sports as well. We got Taryn in the building. What an absolute geezer he is. I enjoyed. I was listening. Not all of it. I had a couple of bits to do, but I was listening to yours and DJB's stream earlier. What a stream as well. Big up to BBK and go over there and show him some support as well if you haven't already, but you should have done. He speaks facts over there. And we've got Joseph, man, the geezer that supports absolutely everyone. Big up to you, Joseph, man. It's always appreciated, and I can speak for every single person here when I say that, brother. Big up to you, man. Hope you are well. And you're saying big up, Aaron and panel. Big up to you, my friend. Shane, don't forget your favourite ever player, Mikel Merino, will save the day. He's better than Gyökeres, Top Gooners say. Oh, yeah, it's fucking absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? He's a striker, but the sad thing is he probably is our second best striker. What does that say for the other strikers outside of Gyökeres? Do you know what I mean? They're exactly right. You've spent, the best part of 110 million to sign Kai Havertz and to get Gabriel Jesus in. Not only are neither of them fit, not only are they killing us financially, they're both shit. But big up to you, my friend. And Sue just come back in just with one more quick cheeky one. Imagine being a gooner with no fucking standards. Mate, I could never, honestly, could never imagine that. It's even hard for me to put my brain into how they think, their logic. I listen to it sometimes and it's just fucking retarded, basically, every single thing that they say. Imagine being that bad. And do you know what? They're probably the same in life in general, Suge. That's the issue as well. If they're like this with their football team, they're probably little bitches like that in real life, man. How some of them make it to mid-adulthood, I'd never know. I look at some of them when they say things. I'm like, how have you even made it to 20? Like, how hasn't life just ended you? It's ridiculous. I don't know, man. But big up, Shane. We'll come back in with you. Ethan Nwaneri, man, smashes it for England every time he plays. Obviously under 21 level now. He's the youngest player in the under 21s as well, by the way. And he looked. I watched the highlights. I didn't watch the game, and he looked the part, absolute part. But he's never going to get a chance, is he, under this manager? I'm sorry. This is going to be a season, isn't it, that passes him by, old Ethan.
Yeah, no, look, you know where I stand on him. I've often said that if I took over Arsenal tomorrow, that I'd be telling him I'm building the team around you, mate. You know what I mean? I think he's everything that a top team needs. Unpredictable, game changer, can run with the ball, he can shoot, he can pass. He's got that little bit of, I don't want to say arrogance, but definitely confidence.
Yeah.
But yeah, this manager hasn't liked him from the start. I don't know if the contract was just signed to get more money for him. That's what I'm starting to think now. People say, he came on against Leeds, which surprised me, if I'm being honest with you. But it was Leeds. You know what I mean? I really thought Marino would come on, if I'm being honest. So that did surprise me, pleasantly surprise me. And the second he came on, the pace picked up. The pace picked up. So, I thought that maybe he would then become cover for Saka. I really thought that's what Arteta was thinking. I'll tell you that you're going to play in the 10, but you're really cover for Saka. But then with the Eze signing, Madueke is now cover for Saka, and then Madueke will go back out to the left. I don't know when they're all fit, if they're ever all fit. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't think there's a future for him under this manager. Definitely not the future he deserves. Definitely not, where he's a regular in the team and he's pushing for a start every week. He'll get bit parts. He'll play in the cups, But no, he won't get the minutes he should be getting. People will say, we have Eze now. We have this. Well, Eze's a left winger. So, yeah, no, I'm with you. I just don't see... This manager doesn't have any faith in him. He doesn't have any faith in him. Just like he doesn't have any faith in Lewis Skelly anymore. Just like he's saying with Zinchenko, Tierney, all the players that he just suddenly decided weren't good enough. And Dowman will happen as well. Dowman will come on whenever he's sort of. They'll bring him on, like we were saying on the phone, Aaron. They'll bring him on against Bilbao for a minute or two to break the record and say, look at me, I play the young players. And then after that, he'll sort of fade into the distance. And then if we start to lose a couple, Dowman will get more minutes because, he'll win the crowd back again because they'll go, they'll be calling out for Dowman. But I really thought Ethan should have asked for a transfer request, even a loan. I thought he should have gone to Palace on loan when we got Eze, sent him to Palace on loan for a year, let him take Eze's place, let him get a load of football, and then hopefully when he comes back, the manager's gone. But yeah, look, I feel for the guy. He's done nothing wrong in my eyes. Maybe behind closed doors he's trouble, but he doesn't seem that way to me. But listen, we know what this manager's like. We know what this manager's like, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he gets a lot of football. I hope he proves me wrong about Arteta, or Arteta proves himself wrong. But I don't really have much belief that he'll get much football this season, and it's a shame because he's a top player.
And do you know what as well? I want to second that as well, and I don't want to speak for you, by the way. But when you're saying things like that, it's not stemmed because of free games. This is what the top gooners have people believe when they get into these sort of debates with them. They'll be like, "Oh, it's only been 3 games." You've probably said that, Shane, because that's what you've seen over the last 5.5 years. It's not 3 bloody games. It's closer to 203 games. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
It is. Go on, Dave.
No, sorry, Aaron. I was just going to say I've always labelled him Emil Smith-Rowe because a lot of the similarities I see with Ethan, I saw with Emil Smith-Rowe under this manager. Signed him a contract, got an England call up, then he was left out, then he came back from injury. Then he started playing and everything else, and then he dropped him, and then he only played him when someone was injured. Then he was put in the squad, and he never got on, and there was defenders and all of that coming on before him, and people were saying, "Where's Emil Smith-Rowe?" Remember this song, Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe. Do you know what I mean? It was all the best thing, and then all of a sudden he was like. And I can see this guy going down the same road as Emil Smith-Rowe, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's not put out on loan January or something like that. He'll go out on loan, especially because if Havertz comes back, that's another player that he's going to be behind in the pecking order.
Yeah. Because he talked about that in his post match when he asked a question of him, and he said, "Well, Havertz is missing." And Odegaard is injured, who was sitting on the bench. So so those guys are well ahead of him. So he needs to go out on loan. And as you said, right, you said DJP, it's a very similar pattern to Emil Smith-Rowe. Very similar pattern. Defenders coming on before him. Defensive midfielders coming on before him. When you need that creative spark, he prefers to go and put defensive midfielders on there and somebody that can't really play midfield. So I just don't get it. But this is the manager that these guys believe in. So what I mean, tough luck to them.
Yeah, it's frustrating, and it's frustrating for the kid because, especially given, let's look at it from an Arsenal fan like us, and say me and D who go to the games quite regularly. We'll sort of sit in the stands, and we know there's not much to actually get up and really enjoy. There's not much to, sit in awe, get you out your seat. So when you've got these crop of players coming through, which are unbelievable, by the way, you've got Lewis Skelly, who can be a real talent if you play him in the proper position. You've got an Ethan Nwaneri coming through, a nice attacking player. You've got Dowman coming through. These are all attackers, and exciting players that will and can get you off your seat. There ain't been much to scream and shout about at the Arsenal. So get these players on. And I don't just mean throw them on because, it looks good or whatever. Arsenal have been playing crap football and have been so devoid of attacking intent. You've got these players there, and you just sit there and think to yourself, get them on. When Ethan Nwaneri was coming on last season, he was the only one getting me out my seat. He was. Yeah. You think, something's going to happen. He'll cut inside and whip a ball in. It's exciting. The crowd gets a little bit energized. Mostly, we've just been playing absolute shit, and I feel for these kids. I do, because you've got an excellent generational, maybe not generational, but you've got an excellent generation of talent coming through, and you have done over the last 5 or 6 years if you want to extend it. But guess what happens? We've got a manager like Mikel Arteta who absolutely soul destroys, crushes them. If we had Arsene Wenger with all of the younger lads coming through in the last 5 years, tail end, if we had Arsene Wenger bringing all of these talent in, It'd already be one of the fucking most exciting players in young world football, Ethan. It'd look the bollocks. Max Dowman probably would have got sort of a couple more minutes maybe last year, depending on what competition or whatever. You're looking at players that would have actually looked at so much better, tenfold better with a proper manager. But you haven't. You've got fucking. He wants to just wrap you up, doesn't he, like a pretzel? This manager. He's not going to get the best out of these players, and that's such a shame when you look at the talent that we've got. And who thinks that Ethan's going to make it under this manager? Who thinks Max is? He's already not playing fucking Miles Lewis Skelly. What are we doing here? I don't know. It's frustrating, isn't it? D, help us out, mate.
It is, and it's the system. It's the system he wants to play. The system he wants to play. He's cautious. That where we lost the 8-point lead and we lost the league has seemed to have scarred him for life, really, because he's frightened now to. He's frightened to be expansive. He's frightened to play with any kind of tempo. And these players, like young players, these players have only got one thing in their mind when they get the ball. How can I get it forward? Yep. Can I go past the player? How do I pass it forward? They want to run with the ball. I remember when I first saw this kid. I think I saw him in a reserve team match, and I thought, blimey, I've never. He's the closest to Paul Merson, because when I first saw Paul Merson, and I'm comparing him with Paul Merson, and that's something unreal. I'm thinking he's very much like Paul Merson. He'll get the ball, he'll cut inside, he'll cut outside, he'll go on his left, he'll go on his right, he'll run at players, he'll take players on. He's got his head up all the time. He's looking around all the time. Where can I create the space? Can I get a shot off? If I can't get a shot off, I'll put a pass in to open up the play. Arteta, for some reason, don't want that. He wants this slow, patient build-up, sideways, U-shaped football. Looking for slight little openings. And this is what I'm saying. So all these players now that are coming through are not going to get the kind of looking. He doesn't suit his system. It's pure and simple.
Yeah.
You can look at it from any angle you like. These players do not suit his system. Dowman will not suit the way he plays. Gyökeres don't really suit the way he plays. That's why he wanted Sesko. You know, it's a system that's very rigid. It's a system that's very robotic. It's a system where it's very patient, slow build-up.
With no end product, though, is there? That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
It's all right, all well and good being patient, but when you get that moment, like what Martinelli had against Liverpool, to thread through, have your slow build-up all day long, as much as you want. But when you get them opportunities, when they present themselves in games, execute the right pass and then execute the right finish. We just don't do that for all this patient build-up and new style football. We've got no conviction.
Won't do it. And I'll be honest with you, Aaron, I think the players are going to get frustrated with it. I honestly think as the season goes on, because it's the start of the season, we've only played 3 games. At the moment, the players are kind of, a bit buoyant and they're playing their way in, match sharpness and everything. But I think as the season goes on, they're going to get fed up with this way of playing. Declan Rice will get fed up. You'll see it in their body language. You'll see it when they turn out and play. It will get to them. You know what it's like when you're in a job and you're doing the same thing all the time and you're seeing and you're thinking, oh, there. All right. And they will just go through the motions. They'll just go through the motions. And that's when it will start hurting, especially if results don't go our way. The only time you're going to see these young players come on is if we're chasing, is if we're 2-1 down, 1-0 down. And we're chasing a game, and then he'll put them on, and then if he gets something out of it, masterclass, look what he's done. He won't ever start with them. I'll be for me, he starts against Nottingham Forest. He plays in the 10. Eze plays on the left, only because our left-hand side is that bad, and Eze's probably the best we've got to play out there.
By default, again, though, that's what it is.
Yeah, by default. I mean, as I said before, and I've said it many, many, many times, I'm not saying he's not a left winger. I'm just saying he's more productive in a central midfield role or a 10 role, Eze, rather than a left-sided role. But
Yeah, definitely.
he's better than Martinelli and he's better than Trossard. So for me, I'd put him in the 10. I'd put Eze on the left, Madueke on the right, Yorkeres, and yeah, and that's how I would start. But that ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. He's going to play Odegaard in the 10. I'll be even surprised if he even plays Martinelli. I'll even be surprised if he plays Eze.
And depending on how the game goes as well, I'd be surprised if Ethan or Max even get on the field.
Yeah,
depending on how the games go, you know.
Do you know what he'll do?
Yeah.
He'll do what he done against Leeds. When it's safe, he'll put them on and say, "What a good boy I am."
Yeah. Just quickly before I move over to this, I want to just say big up the North Side, you absolute geezer. Big up to everyone that's come over. Don't forget to smash the likes up. I don't know how many likes we're on, but smash the like on this stream. And don't forget as well, I think we're about 9 or 10 subs away from 2K. So people in the building, come on, make that happen. There's 330 in there, man. Smash the likes up and give us a cheeky sub. We'll get the 2K tonight if we all do that, people. And don't forget as well, the wonderful world-class panel. They also have channels. And they're fantastic channels, by the way, and their links are pinned. So if you don't want to do any of the other stuff, make sure you go and sub to these absolute legends. Sorry to cut you, D. I just had to say that.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, you know, he'll only play him if it's safe. You know, you won't see him against Man City. You won't see him when we play away from home. If it's 100% safe and it's a nailed-on victory, and there's sort of 10 minutes to go or 15, 20 minutes to go, they'll come on. Bit of squad, little bit of rotation, but other than that, he ain't brave enough to start with him. He just ain't brave enough.
Yeah, he's a coward, isn't he?
Yeah,
absolute coward. What can you do with that? Listen, we've got Mikel Arteta, right? He is our manager. Shane sent me something yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, and you probably went through it today. It's only ever so slightly wrong, so we'll get to that. But it sort of got me thinking: why have we waited so long to basically have Emery's stats in the beginning, the middle, and the end? And I'll show you for why. Look at this. This is the first 50 games played, okay? The first 50. This is Premier League only, this particular stat, by the way. We've waited 5.5 years over £1 billion spent, okay? Games played, 50 each. 25 wins for Emery, 21 for Arteta. 13 draws, 12 draws. Losses, more. He's got 17 losses in that period. Unai Emery, 12. Goals scored, more by Unai Emery. Goals conceded, less by Mikel Arteta. Shots faced, less by Mikel Arteta. Shots faced in blocks, including blocks or whatever, shots in total, less than him, but 5 points less. What does this tell everyone? Okay, sweet. In the first 50 Premier League games, so season and a half, probably achieved that maybe at the end of his first full season, there or thereabouts, give or take. Yeah, he's not really got any better. That's no real comparison as to why he's got any better. Let's go in the middle, though. This was last season, maybe, actually, we should say. Let's go last season. Games, 29. This is the beginning of last season. 29 games, he got 58 points. Unai Emery in his first season, 29 games, 57 points. Why have we waited at that time 4.5 years to be 1 point ahead of Unai Emery in the league? 1 point ahead. At that time, £750 million spent. 1 point ahead of Unai Emery's for the depths of hell season, apparently. And then we get to this. We got this. Last 25 games at Arsenal, Unai Emery. And I think, Shane, didn't you say there was a slight little error in this somewhere?
Yeah, he drew 9 and lost 5. He drew 9 and lost 5, so he actually lost 1 less.
So he actually done better.
Emery, yeah.
Emery, yeah. So it's
a 1 point swing, I think. I think it's a 1 point swing in Arteta's favour. That's what we've paid for, really, 1 billion.
So this is what we've waited 5.5 years for, and his 7th full season, spending over £1 billion. First 50 games, but actually worse. The middle season, or probably say, I shouldn't say middle season, one of the seasons, he's got 1 point last season ahead after 29 games, 1 point ahead of the depths of hell season of Unai Emery. And now you've got the last 25 games for Arsenal, and he's also being bested. What the fuck have we waited for?
And two of those Emery wins, out of the 11 were knocking Valencia out in the semi-final of a European competition as well. So
yeah,
you know what I mean,
mate. What are we actually doing here when we're looking at stats like this? throughout the beginning, last season into the end. There's no improvement. There's absolutely no improvement. They're saying, oh, yeah, but we finished second. Yeah, you had to wait 3 or 4 years for that, by the way.
Yeah.
And it didn't win anything anyway. We only given Emery 18 months, what was it, at best? 18 months?
Yeah.
And who
Can I
knows
just
where
add
he
as
would have
well, Aaron?
finished.
Sorry,
Yeah, go on, mate.
just-
Yeah, you
just
jump
before you
in.
go
Go
on.
on, mate. You jump in.
No, just because the Arteta 25 starts, ironically, at that amazing 5-1 win against City, right? So we should have surely gone off on a massive run then, shouldn't we? Because that was the big win. That was when everything changed. The next match was when we got knocked out of the League Cup. We got dog walked against Newcastle. We then beat Leicester just about. Then we lost to West Ham 1-0. Then we drew at Forest 0-0. Then we beat PSV 7-1, fair enough. But then in the league, we drew with United 1-1. Then we drew with PSV. So after even that should have sparked off a big run, shouldn't it? Smashing City, we're the best team in England, all of that stuff. No, this is what came out of it. This is what came out of it. More dross. 1 point swing, man. A 1 point swing, 1.2 billion down or whatever we spent. A 1 point swing. That's what we've had.
That's
amazing.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
That's crazy, man. He should be voted out. He should be voted out. Swing. He should be voted out, mate. Because you look at that, and
how can you back it, Norms?
You just can't, because he's brought us from the depths of hell, according to these top coolers. You know what I'm trying to say, and that's what they want. That's the narrative that they keep throwing at us. So it sticks in our brains. But we know when you throw facts like this there, as you say, Aaron, you always say this. You listen with your eyes. Yeah. And you see the facts in front of you in black, technicolor, whatever you want to call it, black and white, technicolor. It's all there. Okay. But they will find some way, somehow, to move the goalpost to suit their narrative. Yeah. I was saying this question when me and Shane was on the phone earlier on today, and I said, if Wenger and Unai Emery had this kind of spend that this manager had, this kind of backing that this, I guarantee you, either one of them win a major. They win a major without a shadow of doubt. One, because they've got experience. One, they play great football. Because as far as I'm concerned, Unai Emery, when he took over, all right, and it was quite a balance. It wasn't like all out attack. He had the balance. From me, he had the balance. Whereas Arteta, we play this pragmatic football because obviously he's working with a team that he wasn't used to. Then we come to that year 22-23 season where he just said, you know what, forget the coaching, just go out and express yourselves. And they do that. They did do that, but then they go and bottle the 8-point lead. The following year, because they gassed out, he said, right, we're gonna go a little bit more pragmatic. We're not gonna go too full on. And then what we'll do is then the final half of the season, we had run out of gas now. We can go full pelt. We nearly did it when they came back from Salt Bay, Saudi, and Kai Havertz decided that he was going to score 12 or 11 goals against mid-table and bottom half sides.
The calendar year.
But because of that, that's why the following year we didn't end up going and getting a proper striker, because everybody was convinced by Kai Havertz, that he was the one for us. That's why that £80 million that we had to spend on a striker, they ended up going and getting who? Moreno and Calafiori, who both came in injury prone. Now we've got Moreno as our IT solution playing up front, because why? Kai Havertz last season got injured. So we're back to square one. So all of these facts that have been brought up, and you go back to what Shane, what's the name, Aaron's just showing us, is just telling us that at the end of the day, it's a 1 point swing in 6 years, nearly 1.1 billion spent. And all we got to show for it is an FA Cup with Unai Emery's men, where he took over from quarterfinals, if my memory serves me right. And we have 2 paper plates, sorry. That's it.
Yeah. And on top of that, Norms and Shane, what you got to remember is Unai Emery, this so-called scrub, since he's been facing Arteta in competitive matches, Unai Emery's won 3 times. Arteta's only beat his team once and 1 draw. He's beaten Arteta 3 times. So this so-called scrub has got a better win rate against him than Arteta.
Knocked him out of Europe. Knocked him out of Europe as well.
Yeah. Knocked him out of Europe as well. 3 times he's beaten Arteta. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just think that if you are looking at a bigger picture, if you're looking at a football manager that's been at a team like Arsenal, that's had the sole running of the football team, that's had all of that money spent on it, you should be levels ahead of this guy. Levels ahead.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? You should be up there. You should be up there with trophies of all the top managers.
Second longest serving manager in the Premier League, DJ.
Yeah.
He's the
Second longest serving manager in the Premier League. And
spent more than most.
Yep. And you're still not miles ahead.
Spent more than Pep, the longest serving manager, actually.
Yeah, that's what I was just. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Yeah, Shane, I'm sure he is probably the most spending manager, isn't he?
And do you know what I got sent today on X about this whole Emery Arteta thing was? Oh yeah, that's it. Big up a scrub like Emery in his third season, and they showed a picture of Villa with 3 losses at the bottom of the table. Who else had 3 losses at the bottom of the table in their third season?
Yeah,
9 goals conceded. 9 goals conceded. 0 goals scored. Mr. Arteta did, and he had spent an absolute fortune that summer as well, man. An absolute fortune. It's crazy. It's like they don't think when they say it. Like, it is a cult. It really is a cult because they're so blinded by it. They're so blinded by it that it can't be any other way. And then you do start getting messages like that. I don't care what happens. I will back Mikel Arteta to the very end. I will back. You know, it's not about the club anymore. It's really not about the club. I had one guy say to me, "Yeah, well, in my lifetime, I've only seen us challenge for the league under Arteta." So I said, that's no reason to stick by him. Do your research. This isn't good enough, you know. And this is the way it always goes down. So this idea that, you know, like I said, they talk about Arteta like he's more important than the club, but then when they're talking about, like with Semiu, when they're talking about playing Saliba injured, he says the club. He doesn't say the manager. He says Arsenal probably shouldn't have played him. But like they flip it back and forth, and it's gone beyond a joke. I've never seen it before. I've never ever seen anything like it. DJ, the first conversation we ever had backstage was we asked each other, have you ever seen in your lifetime a manager that's protected? And we both said no. You know what I mean? I've never seen it at any club in any league.
Yeah,
I've never ever seen it to the point where he's not just protected. He's bigged up like he's something special.
Yep.
They're all of them in the crowd, mate. Honestly, they're still all for him. They're still all for him.
Yeah.
And I don't know who it was that was saying, oh, he's one of the panels I've been on recently saying, oh, he's arrogant. He's arrogant, Mikel Arteta. The only reason why he's arrogant is because he's got millions in the fan base, and probably the vast majority of the people in the stadium tell him he's the best thing he's ever seen.
Plus journalists, but plus journalists as well. Yeah. Top content creators as well. The big content creators as well.
Yeah,
and what telling him is the best thing is past bread.
Yeah, the thing is, what as Shane, just going back to what you were saying, the subconscious now becomes the conscious. So when they talk now, it's like they automatically have to protect him. It's like they're excuse the pun, plugged in. Yeah, they're literally plugged in. Right? We laugh and joke about it and stuff like that, but guys, they're plugged into something, and it's the Arteta matrix, absolutely plugged into it, bro. And they can't get it. So when they say things, they just you listen to them, you're thinking, why can't you say Arteta put Saliba back on? Why are you saying Arsenal? Why? Because you have to protect this guy at all costs. You can't say nothing against him. Like you could say, yeah, the club, blah blah, this, blah blah, that. Soon as you say Arteta, it's like they want to kill you.
No matter what. They'll protect their investment norms.
That's what
They'll protect their investment no matter what, because they're so heavily invested in Mikel Arteta. It's too late now. It's almost like what people sort of get when and big up to people like this. One of my friends is very bad at it, gambling addiction. You sit there and you just think, oh, maybe if I just win this one back, you know, that's what you do. You've invested so much in it. You just need to put that last little bit in still, because you don't just want to cut your losses. You just want to keep going and going and going, and that's what these lot are. The same thing with Mikel Arteta.
Cult members say the same, though, Aaron.
Yeah,
cult members who have been deprogrammed will say the same. They say at the end, when it's all falling apart, and you start to think, right, this isn't right because he told me that we'd be flying off in a spaceship on the 25th of June or whatever it is, and it hasn't happened. That they go, but you know what I mean, and then they start to think, well, I've invested so much mentally in this that it's easier just to go down with the ship. It's easier just to do that than to admit that everything I thought I believed in was wrong. So they just double down and go, no, I'll just keep going with it, even though like I often say, the FBI are kicking in the door and burning down the building, and they go, no, look, I'll just stay with them because I'll put everything into it now. Mentally, I don't have it in me to go back, and I do. You get some of that often where they're just like when I'm getting messages on X like that. Well, fuck it, I don't really care. I'd rather finish 8th with Arteta than 4th with a different manager.
What is that?
You know what I mean? Like that's what you're getting. So
what is that?
You know, to the point where, like they're defending that lineup against Liverpool. That's what they're doing there. They're saying, oh, well, you see, Mourinho scored a hat-trick for Spain, so it was the right lineup. Right, but the thing is with those Mourinho goals, his third one, he hit it from about 25 yards. He's not allowed to take that shot for Arsenal.
Yeah.
He's not allowed to take that shot for Arsenal. You know what I mean? He's not defensive. He's not a defensive-minded midfielder. Well, he is. And even if you want to go into stats, the way they love their stats, from what I've heard, and I need to check this now, but I did hear that of the last 8 games that Mourinho started in midfield, we've lost 7 of them. Now, I don't know how true that is. I did hear that, but that's what I've heard, and I'm going to have to check it out. But it seems like it could be right now. I don't know if someone's padded it, but either way, I'd imagine there's a high number. So don't take that for, I do need to check it. But, you know, look, defending something like that, you've sort of gone to the dark side if you're defending that, because most of them that were Arteta in, when that team sheet came out, they went, oh, shit. And then it wasn't until the next day, because everybody was saying to me that day, oh, even the top gooners are getting annoyed with the lineup. And I said, wait till they recharge their batteries tonight. Wait till they recharge their batteries. They'll have a sleep tonight. They'll wake up, defend. And straight away they did the next morning. Over X. Oh, no, thinking now that I've thought about it, it was the right decision. It was just a free kick. It was just... And then you start to think, right, well, there is just no hope for you anymore. There's no hope for you anymore, because... And that's the problem. When they're having to think of something to defend them with, well, then you know you're making excuses. Like, how can you defend him playing Saliba? How can you do it? Just say it was wrong. Just say it was wrong.
Yeah. And how can it be bad luck?
The world won't end if you say it. Yeah, but this is the thing. This is because we'll admit when he gets things right. We'll say, well, he got that right. Not often, because he doesn't get much right. But when he does, we'll say it. You know, when he brought on, like we've already said it, when he brought Nwaneri on against Leeds, I thought, well, I was pleasantly surprised with that. I didn't expect it. He proved me wrong. Because I turned around to my missus when Odegaard was going up and said, he'll bring on Marino. And then he brought on Nwaneri. He said, oh, no way. Brilliant. You know, so we'll admit it. But when you're just making excuses for every single thing, and he hasn't spent that much, and, oh, it's only 160 million a year, that's not much. And come on, lads. No, just stop now. It's over $1 billion. He hasn't won anything. You know what? Where are you getting this hope, or where are you getting this idea that he's going to be fine? And then all these guys that will say, right, you'll go to them, well, then surely at the end of this season, if he doesn't win something, he has to go. Well, context, and right, so you're already saying it depends on what excuses I can come up with. That's basically what they're saying. It depends on what excuses I come up with. And they can always just whip out the classics. Anyway, the injuries, suspensions, refs, fixture list, you know, Liverpool bought the league. They'll have them all lined up. They just go back to if there is no real ones, they'll just come up with they'll just go back to the classic playlist. They'll just whip out Wonderwall, you know what I mean, when they lose the crowd. That's
Barney Stinson's playlist, isn't it?
That's what it is, man. That's what it is. Just whip out the classics, man. They always work. But you know, this is the way it is, and I don't know. They seem to be getting rattled enough that they're going to be sort of opening the doors and having debates and stuff like that. But that's normally the end when they start letting in the what we are called the negative side. Then you know that they're really getting desperate. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, man.
Big up to Supernova as well. Big up to the panel. Big up to yourself. We heard it from the horse's mouth on Northside show with a gal earlier. Yep, we definitely did. There's no excuses not to win a major this season. But the thing is, it's like, I think Northside, if we was watching the same one, and we're on about the same one, Supernova, Northside quickly, who's not a silly fucker, by the way, he quickly said to a gal, you said the same thing last year.
Yeah.
Same thing last year. And basically what Shane was saying just then as well is they will always find something. They're so shameless. They've got that little self-respect about their opinion that they will just say anything that they can. Yeah.
And the club.
They'll say absolutely anything.
He also said if Liverpool won the Premiership, Arteta should be sacked.
Yeah.
So, you know, So Liverpool
People
won
like
the
that.
Premiership at a canter, and he's still been defending him. They'll find a way because this manager has bought. It's the best. A lot of these fans, it's the best they've seen Arsenal. They've not seen Arsenal much at all, obviously, in the past, and it's the best they've seen.
Do you reckon he'll survive the season, DJB? Mikel Arteta?
I'm surprised he's even there this season, to be honest, Aaron. I'm really shocked that he got another season, to be honest. I'm still getting over the fact that we've still got him as manager. But unless it's really kind of precarious come January, they could pull the trigger in January if it's bad enough. If we're not performed in the Champions League with the games we've got up till Christmas, if we're well off the top and don't look like challenging for the Premiership, they could be kind of looking for someone in January.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm still getting over the shock that he's even there this season. I can't believe it, to be honest. I really can't. I've had my time with him. I'm done with him. My patience have run out. I've trusted I've trusted processes. I've been patient. I've done everything really. I'm still going to games. I'm still renewing my season ticket. I'm still going to the matches. I'm still going to the odd away match. And at the end of the day, Aaron, when's enough's enough? When's enough's enough? And as I said, Wenger didn't even get this. They were fighting we were fighting on the terraces. Yeah. I was watching ugly stuff getting Wenger out. And this has been one of our most decorated managers of all time.
Yeah.
And they were fighting and arguing outside the ground. They was fighting on the terraces. They was rocking up, lining up for a beer at half time. Someone said something about, Wenger's got to go. He's a scrub, blah, blah, blah. Bang, it all kicked off then. This guy, 1-0. He's built an empire with £1 billion, and he gets all the protection there is.
He still ain't got a squad and all of that.
I can't believe it.
Did you hear what Phil Campbell said?
And what people?
Campbell, go on. Sorry, go on.
No, go on. No, I'm just going to end on this though. But what people don't realise is, and this is where it all goes wrong, is the window that we've had this season. People are forgetting the amount of crap players he signed before this. He has signed some awful players during his tenure, especially when Edu was at the club. Pablo Mari, Sambi Lecong. People are forgetting all these players that he has signed and the money he's wasted. And this is why we've spent £1 billion, because what he's had to do this season is bring players in to cover up the cracks from the previous years.
Mm-hmm.
So you're constantly playing
built up.
Yeah.
So what he's doing, he's just been throwing money at. He's just been throwing money at it. Oh, I made the mistake. If we'd have had these players 2 or 3 seasons ago, if he'd have done the right thing in the window 2 or 3 seasons ago, we wouldn't be spending £1 billion. We'd have had established players at the club by now. Do you know what I mean? It's just
a good manager wouldn't have needed to spend it, would he, D?
No,
that's what I'm saying. A good manager wouldn't have needed to spend all of this. He'd have got more of the transfers right than he did wrong, so we wouldn't even be in this hole anyway.
You wouldn't be in this hole, would you? You just wouldn't do it. You just wouldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And people, a lot of the fans have just got short memories, and they just live in the moment and everything.
TikTok brain, as Lee says, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
TikTok brain. So what do you reckon then, D? Just before I bring it over to Shane, is he going to last this season? Is he still going to be Arsenal manager?
Listen. When I made a statement. I'll stick with it. He probably will last, but I'm going to stick my neck out and say, I reckon that if there's a top quality manager circling in January, and we have to strike while the iron's hot and things are going not so good, I reckon he could get his mutual agreement.
It won't be your man in January, DJ, because apparently Fenerbahce are close to getting Zidane.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Rumors,
if Zidane goes to Fenerbahce, I will be absolutely mortified and gutted. because Zidane, we could have had Zidane, and it was don't Shane.
Imagine right now, DJ
You
Bert
just
is
hit me
going,
there.
Jesus, I thought Zidane was
Because
never going to
this is
manage
what
again.
happened.
Imagine he rang him and said,
Yeah,
would there be a chance?
yeah.
Imagine we
This
woke
is-
up tomorrow to that.
Shane,
I'd run
Shane,
around
this is
naked,
what
man. I'd
happened.
run around my fucking garden naked if that was
Oh,
the case,
mate.
man. I
Send
would
the link.
lose the plot, man.
This is what happened when Klopp was circling,
Mm,
and we had the situation back then. And I kept saying, go and get Jurgen Klopp, go get
Yep.
Jurgen Klopp. He ended up at Liverpool. And we're back to the same situation now.
mm,
We've got a manager in the quality of Zidane, could be going to Fenerbahce,
yeah.
when this manager shouldn't even be at the club. Zidane should have been our manager at the start of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to miss
He was
out on another
available,
top
obviously,
bloke.
which he would have been. Yeah.
Now
It's
we're
mad,
going
isn't
to
it?
miss out.
Yeah.
Oh, don't. Can you imagine if he was in charge, Mr. Shane? Honestly.
Yeah, this is what I was saying as well, though, before Shane comes in about whether I think Arteta will not survive. It would give everyone a lift, wouldn't it, Shane?
Yeah.
It would, wouldn't it, boys? It would just give everyone a lift. If Zidane
Yeah.
at the start of the season was to have come in, regardless of what transfers would have been made, whatever, but it would have given. I'd have looked forward to the start of the season. I would have, regardless of the transfers. I'd have gone, right, sweet. We've got a new manager in. I believe in him. He's done the business before. Let's see what he can do. I'd be reinvigorated. I'd be like, right, sweet. We've got something to believe in now. Do you know what I mean? Let's give this geezer a little bit of time, not loads of time. We're not saying years and years and years. You know, embed yourself. Do well. Obviously, start off with. We've got a very good squad. If it doesn't quite work out with you this season, definitely something's got to happen next season. But it'd just give you that little bit more of a lift, wouldn't it? But I don't know, man.
Yeah, look, do you know what the funny thing is that last week, for the first time ever, I thought I'd let the thought creep into my head that maybe, just maybe, there might come a point during the season where Arteta might get fired, and then you ruined it for me. You ruined it for me. Because I said to you, if we lose to Forest, do you think there'll be booze? And you said, no, I'll take about 5 losses. And I went, no, he's not getting that sack this season. But, you know...
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
I think slightly different. I think if we were to lose to Forest and then City come and do something, I think there could be booze. Maybe not a whole stadium of them. But I do think that it would just be... I have a sneaky feeling that the next 3 games, if we don't do well, the mood's going to change tenfold. Not necessarily in the stadium, but definitely as a whole, I think, because we will go so far behind.
Yeah,
that it's too much. And you know, you throw in the Bilbao game and you throw in all of this. I don't know. I just have this feeling that the top gooners are clinging on by their nails. It feels that way. It feels like they're clinging on by their nails at the moment. There's a few of them that shall remain nameless, especially now because but that might that they put on the front that everything's perfect. They really put on the front that everything is perfect, and the way they do it by just being so stunned when there's a mention of like maybe there's a bit of unrest. What at Arsenal, but everything's perfect, you know. So I don't know.
How can this be?
How can this be? And that's what it is. But I'm just at the point now where I'm just like, someone said, like in my chat today, I really think that he'll see out his contract until 2027, whatever it is. And I just felt the wind go out of me. I just had the thought of it. I was just like, I can't do this, man. I can't do another one. You know what I mean? I really can't do another one. I'm at the point now that where, you know, if I go over to a match and I'm driving and I see him out walking the dog, it would be like, I could do this for everybody else, man. I'll only get 20 years or something. You know what I mean? Like, if I just hit the accelerator now, I can save everybody. And this is only a joke, by the way, people, in case this gets picked up. Yeah. I wouldn't do that, especially in broad daylight. But
yeah,
but it is.
Wait till it was dark.
Be clever.
Please
be clever about it.
Yeah. But no, but the point is that, you know, I don't know. I really am. I'm sort of at a loss now, but and I often say this, and I'll just reiterate. I'll often repeat it for the people that think that we get off on this team losing. And I say this so often. It's the worst place in the world to be. Is to hate your manager, but love your team, because I know that a couple of losses will do him in. but I can't be up for Forest. You know what I mean? I'll always be up for my team. And people think that we're not. People think that we get off on Arsenal losing. We don't. We hate it because Nuno sacked. There you go. If they get Mourinho, my prediction comes true, by the way. I said that Mourinho will be Forest manager by the time we played him. And I'm going to have to go back and clip it up because I'm telling you right now, he'll
do a job on Arteta first game.
Mourinho will be there. I called that, last week, I think, was it on this show?
Yeah.
Didn't I?
Yeah.
Mourinho will be there.
Nuno. You got to feel sorry because he hasn't done a lot wrong at Forest.
It's what he said. It's what he said. It's what he said about the board.
What he said, and
that's Edu. Edu fell out with him, apparently.
Yeah, there's something been going on over there. I've been having a little listen.
Edu falls out with Nuno, but we still don't know what happened there, though, did he? Why he left Arsenal? He fell out with Arteta, wasn't he? That was over the Havertz.
Wait for the autobiography. I'm telling you.
When's that coming out? Not a little Charles Watts fucking written thing, is it?
Isn't it funny how Edu can fall out with Nuno and Nuno gets the sack, but he can supposedly, or so you hear, that he fell out with Arteta over the Havertz thing, and yet Arteta's still there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Who gets the Evo? Who gets the Evo?
It just shows Arteta has the power at Arsenal.
Yeah,
he's bigger than the club, and I've been saying this for years.
Yeah.
Arteta is bigger than Arsenal Football Club, and when you're going down
with Wenger, but Wenger, you can understand it.
Yeah, when
you can understand how that could happen.
Yeah. He had a lot of credit in the bank as well, didn't he, Wenger? He outstayed his welcome, but you know, for the teams he assembled, and you know, obviously there's a little bit of a crap that he had whilst we were building the stadium, this and all of that, the other. He actually assembled and built good squads. They just weren't really sort of good enough, I suppose. You know what I mean? At the end of the sort of day, but I don't know. It's a frustrating one. But Shane, what do you reckon before I come into Norms? Do you reckon he will survive the season? I don't know if you'd give a definite answer or not. Do you reckon he's gonna be?
Gun to my head, I'd say no. Actually, I'd say he won't survive it. Because I just have no faith in him. I have no faith in him to do well enough with the way there's pressure now that he has to succeed. And he never has succeeded before. So why would that change? I'm with DJ that it would have to be, 9 points off first come Christmas, which could easily happen, by the way. Could easily happen. We
could easily happen by end of September, mate.
Yeah, exactly. So, with Chelsea doing well, I think they're going to go off one. City's game against United is absolutely huge for them. If they don't win that, then I will switch my whole prediction that they'll be right up there. But I think they will beat. If they beat, it's that big a game. It's that big a game. If they go there and beat United, then they're coming to us going, right, we beat.
Is that their next game, is it? Yeah.
That's their next game, yeah. So if they win that, then they'll be coming to us going, right, we're going to take you. We're going to pay you back for 5-1. If they lose that, then we'll probably do them. Fake news. Is it fake news? Okay, for the Nuno thing.
Oh, what's that? The Nuno thing, yeah. But I had a little look. I couldn't see it, but I didn't know whether there's some people have the little sources, the cheeky little.
But I think if there's a massive, gap that he could be, but me and DJ have discussed this before. It would also depend on if someone becomes available at that time. If we're in a really bad place. And Zidane goes to Fenerbahce, say, and the way the Turkish can fall out with them in 3 or 4 months, and this wasn't the job I wanted, and he leaves, or Simeone gets sacked by Atletico, which could easily happen, by the way. Then he might go, it's now or never. But we can only dream.
Yeah, we can only dream. What about you, Norms? And before I do, just get you to say something. Big up to the chat as well. Still loads of you in the building, man. We are not that far away from getting to the 2K. So if you can give us a cheeky sub and smash a like on the stream. Don't know if we're over 100 yet, but if you could do that for us, that'd be great. Don't forget to sub to all the boys as well, man. All their links are pinned in the chat. You absolute world class so and so's. Normski, big up, man.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say
Nuno is sacked, by the way. Nuno is sacked. It looks really. It's in the New York Times and stuff now. Yeah, Ornstein and stuff reporting it.
That's what.
Yeah, I don't know if I can say this on live on stream, but I managed to break into Arteta's house.
Okay.
And
did you nick any?
Probably made a Lego anyway. So
I actually managed to
squeeze all his lemons.
No, I managed to nick something out.
Did you have any light bulbs? Was it dark? Or
No. I managed to nick one of these.
Okay, all right.
What was on the radio, Norms? You'll never walk alone.
What's this?
No light bulbs.
What's this?
It
Pan.
looks like a saucy pan.
Yeah.
Frying
So
pan.
what is it? What's it made out of?
Teflon.
Teflon. Yeah.
There you go. That's
There
what
you
he
go.
wears on his chest, man.
That's my answer.
He ain't going. He ain't going
We
anywhere.
love him.
He ain't going nowhere.
He's going nowhere.
Nothing
I'm-
sticks.
I'm worried about that, Norms. I'm worried that you're right, mate, because
Yeah.
This is
if
the
we
problem. This
can't
is
have
the problem.
another year of it.
This
He's
is the
just
problem.
upset me now.
Yeah, I don't. Sorry, mate, DJ.
Yeah, cheers, Norms.
well, actually, Shane, you said you was gonna not do that thing. Yeah, I could always lend you this.
Yeah. Oh man, look, it is that thing though, isn't it? Of just another year of it. But look, we will.
Yeah.
We'll always do it because we're Arsenal fans. We'll always do it
Yeah.
because we're Arsenal fans. We were saying that last year, at the end of last year, I can't do another one, and you just get on with it, don't you? You just get on with it. But
yeah.
we deserve better, man. We deserve better. I used to say, up until about a year and a half ago, I used to say, I don't care who we get in once they're winners. I don't care about the football. But now that the football's been so bad for 2 years, that I'm saying, well, the next manager has to be a winner and play good football. Because I need good football back now. I need it back now because at that time I was with 2 years with bad football. It's not good enough, man. And people were saying, oh, it's the injuries. But the football's worse now, and he's got every player under the sun. You know what I mean? Football's worse.
This is how bad. You see, like the likes of Christian, Shane. We've been on the streams when he's been saying it, and a few of them else. They actually argue and say the football's even good. And that, for me, is what totally discredits. It's mad, isn't it? It totally discredits anything else that comes out of their mouth when they're arguing that the football is still good to watch. And they'll say, oh, yeah, there was loads of games. And then you're like, all right, go on. And then they name about 4. They instantly name the Real Madrid one. They instantly name the Man City one. And then it's like, you can sort of see them slow down in their tempo. Then they'll go, yeah, the PSG, all right, yeah, that was for 45 minutes. Nottingham Forest, yeah, that was for 45 minutes. And that's it. Then they're real scratching around the barrel. I'm like, you've named 4 games. It was like fucking 55 last year, you pillock. Like, what are we doing here? Like, and that just then shows the IQ, doesn't it, D? Sorry, man.
No. And another thing that they go on about the record against the record against the top 6, but to win the league, you've got to do better than the top 6.
Yeah. And where's that gone now? Where's that blanket gone, D?
Exactly. But they go on about that. That's gone now. I'm glad.
Yeah.
But like, what they don't mention is our record at home in the last 2 seasons against West Ham, Fulham away, Brighton, Brentford,
Everton
away.
Drawing,
Everton 0-0.
drawing.
Come on, man. Honestly, the Villas,
Brighton's.
Yeah, it was bad, and people say, "Oh, it's relax. It's only 3 games." This ain't 3 games. It's an accumulation of so many poor games. How many times? I mean, I went to as I said, I go to the Emirates like you do. Honestly, I can count probably just about on one hand how many games I've come out buzzing.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm struggling. I remember the Leicester at home was bad. We struggled with that.
Yeah.
Southampton.
Was that the one we were 2-0 up, and then within the first 5 minutes they were 2-2, weren't we? In the second half,
that screamer, didn't he? That Leicester player scored that absolute screamer. And I'm thinking, here we go.
Something like that, Norms. Yeah.
Southampton, we sort of like struggled against, and it just bad.
Ipswich weren't even good. Ipswich was a terrible home game.
Terrible game.
Fucking
terrible. Fucking hell. The Forest game last season as well weren't that much. I mean, it's just like one thing after another. But going into this, going into this season. Sorry, Norms. Going into this season under this manager, I already knew what to expect. I just know what to expect. I'm not expecting anything. I'm not really expecting anything. Anything that does happen is a bonus for me. I'm open-minded about things. I'm not letting it ruin my weekends. And I was a bit like what Shane said earlier. It's a horrible situation to be in as an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
Because you don't wish you don't wish any bad or any awfulness coming to the club. But on the other side of it, the long-term damage this manager's causing by staying at the football club long-term is going to be worse. because the mess he's going to leave the next manager in coming in.
Yeah,
could be awful. So on one hand, you don't want Arsenal to obviously lose games, and you don't want Arsenal to lose. Of course, you don't. But it's a horrible situation to be in because you want something to happen because it's the only way this manager might go out away from the football club. You know,
Yeah.
and I've said it time and time again for the record. I have seen some good things under this manager. I've seen some good football under this manager. We have played some good stuff. He's got us competing. He has got us to, regular Champions League, and we ain't had to worry about qualifying and all of this malarkey and whatever. But at the end of the day, he hasn't won anything. And the football now is poor. It's poor football.
So bad.
And he's wasted so much money. And then that's without the wages the players are on as well. So if you add everything up, the injuries, the wages, the wage structure, the amount of money that's been wasted, the quality of football that we're seeing, come on, man. How long can he keep going for? How long can he keep going for, really?
Yeah, it's frustrating. And Supernova, big up to you. You make a fantastic point here. You hate the argument of who's available that's better when finding a manager. Yeah, I massively agree with you. And you're saying as well, just because my leaky ceiling ain't caved in yet, doesn't mean that I shouldn't try to replace it as soon as possible. Facts. Do you know what Arsenal do? I like the analogy. Arsenal wait not only till the ceiling blows and all the water comes crashing down and you're fucked. They wait to ruin further. That's what Arsenal do. They don't just wait to repair the ceiling. They'll let all the water fuck your flooring up and all. That's what we do. Is we're so reactionary. We have to wait until the last possible minute till it all goes total shit, and then replace them. Why don't we just think a bit ahead of the curve? Why don't, if Mikel Arteta, and I can't think whose show I said this on, if we are, let's just say by October, if we're 8 points behind Liverpool, after about 7 games, we were 7 points behind Liverpool. After 10 games, 7, 15, 7, 27, it grew up to 10. Then it went to 15 at one stage. Then it finished up at 10 points. We didn't recover from it. And this is a Liverpool team that have got 9 out of 9, and that ain't even got out of first gear yet. They've got players that are still finding their feet. They've just added Isak to their ranks. And their next 3 games, I think, as Shane's done it on his bruised banana rather. I'm sure you've done it and brought it up to us as next 3 games. They've got Burnley away, Everton at home, and then Crystal Palace away, I think. That's their next 3 fixtures in the Premier League, Liverpool. Arsenal's next 3, on the other hand, are a tricky 12:30 Saturday kickoff, Nottingham Forest at home, Manchester City at home, Newcastle away. New manager bounce. There is a very realistic reality in which we live in where we get maybe 4 points out of that 9 and Liverpool get 9. Let's just afford them a draw. I was thinking, because I think Crystal Palace always give them a bag. And let's just even give Liverpool a benefit of the doubt or us and say they get 7 out of that. I don't think Arsenal are getting 7 points out of that. If Arsenal can match Liverpool's points total over the next 3 fixtures, fair enough. Absolute fair enough. However it comes, however it looks, we can manage their points total. We've done a fantastic job. However, what I want and what I think will happen are 2 massively different things. If Arsenal Football Club, and they have to win this Nottingham Forest game, because if we don't, we are really set up for a bad Premier League campaign, because then the pressure's all on Manchester City. That then becomes an instantaneous must-win. We have to win the Nottingham Forest game to go in there. Just by going, look, even if we do get a draw here, we've won that other game. It's not the worst thing in the world, though it does put a lot of pressure on the Newcastle away. At least you can go, well, you've got your 4 points here. Go put a performance in at St. James's Park. If you draw that game, you're out. It's easy to say you're out the Premier League, but realistically, if you then draw Nottingham Forest and then you don't win at Manchester City, you can very quickly find yourself 7 points already beyond Liverpool. And that's not a good place to be. And then have to go to St James's Park. You could be out the title race by September if we don't buck it up. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, listen, for this,
big up Supernova.
For this to change, I don't know if you want to read that super chat. I don't know if you actually read it. Did you read it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Okay, sorry, Matt. I didn't know whether you wanted to reference it. Yeah.
No, I was just saying, for this to all change, Arteta, first of all, has got to let the shackles off of these guys. Yeah. He's got to be brave. And And I'm saying be brave at home as well as being brave away from home. Because as I say, you go to Liverpool, who, you know, have not, as you said, got out of first gear and they've got 9 points. Not only that, they were there, I believe, for the taking. Because when you look and see Saliba playing at right back, and you're thinking, no, we just bought Eze, creative player, creative spark.
Yeah.
Let's go up there and take the game to them. Yeah, because we was all saying with that situation, he was looking at a draw. Before that, we were saying we're not too sure, but when we saw getting Eze in, we we're thinking, okay. But the fact that as soon as the team sheet came out and we saw Moreno in the lineup, and obviously he was on the show when it happened, Shane, and you guys were on the show, BBK, you thought, hang on a minute, we're going to lose this game. And ironically, we lost the game. It was by a wonder strike by Szoboszlai. And at the end of the day, we had one shot on target for the whole 90 minutes. So he has to allow these players to play them in their right position. Yeah, be brave. Yeah, you're at home. Yeah. But what's the likelihood of Eze still sitting on the bench? Yeah. Ethan Nwaneri is going to sit on the bench. Yeah. And because all of a sudden Moreno has now scored an hat-trick in the World Cup qualifiers, what's the chances of him starting? You see what I mean? So he's not brave. He needs to be brave. He's got to look back at 2022 season and go, right, if the players play like this, they beat most teams. Yeah. All right, might be a bit open against Liverpool, whatever, and Man City, but most teams like the Brightons, the West Hams, you know, how are we losing against West Ham at home? How are we losing to Bournemouth? How are we losing to Bournemouth last season twice? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Drawing, you know, we was winning at home to Aston Villa. We end up drawing that game. I mean, it's things like that. We have to be brave. Is to allow the shackles to come off these players and for them to go for it, because they're capable of doing it. Yeah, you've added players to the ranks, so we've got a bench that you could say, right, okay, at least I can bring him on if there's players injured or whatever. But he's not even doing that because he's too frightened to do that. Yeah. He'd rather just go with the same status quo and go with what he knows, which is safe football, defensive football, pragmatic football, robotic football, and hence we end up with 14 draws, 21 points from winning positions, and that's why we're never ever going to challenge. And we didn't challenge last season. We never ever challenged, and that's the bare facts.
We just wanted to see something different, wouldn't we? And I'll come back to the lineup again, like that you were saying. We would just wanted to see something different. And I'll coin the phrase again. If you want something that you never had, you need to do something you've never done. And Arsenal Football Club, Arteta had a fantastic opportunity there. I'm sorry, we had a great opportunity to go to Anfield and put in a good performance and win. If we'd have turned up there, and this is the difference, by the way. This is the difference between a good Premier League side and a great Premier League side. A good Premier League side goes there, loses 1-0 to a fantastic free kick, or they draw that game 0-0. That's what a good Premier League side does, by and large, for the majority of their games that they play them. The great ones find a way, or they blow them away. The great teams find a way to win there against your title rivals. We've seen it not just in Arsenal, but amongst all the you go down in history. You look at famous goals of Manchester United and Manchester City's. You know what I mean? You look down the whole way. They get them wins. They just find a way to do it because they're a great side. Arsenal Football Club don't do that. Mikel Arteta had a great opportunity to just go, do you know what? We have changed this season. Let's do a little something different from last season. Let's go and put it on them. Because if we'd have had a good performance and played properly and had attacking with intent, with attacking players, creative players on the field, Arsenal Football Club probably would have found themselves a 2-1 win. They'd have probably looked at that Szoboszlai and gone, oh, yeah, you know, it's a consolation goal. That's what that should have been. 65 minutes, Liverpool were there for the absolute taking. They were crap. The problem was, 65, 70 minutes to that point, Arsenal were also crap. Like you'll never get a good opportunity like that and watch Liverpool play as badly. Look at the last 10 years, just for instance, boys. When you're going away at Liverpool, right? We've had last year, right? They went 2-0 up, and then they couldn't give a shit, and they ended up drawing the game because they won the Premier League at that point. Then the 2 seasons before, you've got 2 difficult battles. Fair enough, we were ahead in both of them, 1-0, then 1-1. 2-0 the season before, and then dropped that back to 2-2. They were decent little battles. Fair play to them. You know, they were off decent performances. then you start going in a downhill spiral very quickly. You start then going into the seasons where we were losing 4-1s, 5-1s, and absolute humiliations. So in the last decade, especially, you're looking at that. And then under Mikel Arteta's tenure, Arsenal Football Club have not faced Liverpool that poorly, poor Liverpool at Anfield in a long fucking time. And what do? We shit the bed. We see the lineup and we're instantaneously devoid of absolutely any confidence. Why? Not because always match day 3. Always match day 3. How can you say that? No, it's Mikel Arteta's 300th game or whatever it is. It's not just match day 3. This is what we've seen time and time again. That's the whole point of it. We see that lineup, we're thinking we know how the game's going, didn't we? Anyone on this panel, anyone in this world-class chat after looking at that lineup thinking, yeah, Arsenal are going to fucking go for this today. They're going to win. No, you all thought what we were thinking. For fuck's sake, why is he being such a coward? Why? And it reflected in the performance. It did. That weren't a title-winning performance. That was a fucking cowardly performance. And do you know what? If you get the draw, yeah, we'd have all sort of said, we wouldn't have praised the performance, but what you'd have done is you'd have gone, look, fair enough, I suppose it is a good point away from Liverpool, is the only pretty much positive thing that you can say about it. But we didn't even do that this time. We come away with a shit performance and a fucking loss. It couldn't have got really any worse than that. Because now it shows that Mikel Arteta's little shitty system of going away to big clubs, now that's not even working this season. Come on, man.
No. I mean, Aaron, you said it fakes. I mean, but we done it last season, didn't we? When we went to Man City and we set up cautiously and he played cautious. When we went to Man City, when we went to the Etihad, we should have taken the balls by the horn and gone for it and gone for the 3 points, and we didn't. We sat back and we ended up drawing. And people were saying if we'd have been more braver and we'd have got the 3 points there, we probably would have won the league. When we lost it to Man City that season, we weren't brave enough at the Etihad. There comes a point, if you're going to win the Champions, the Premiership, like Chelsea did when they beat Man United and all of that, there comes a point where you have to go to these big grounds and get 3 points. You have to. There is a point when you have to sort of go to Man City, you go to your rivals and you take all 3 points. And if you can't keep getting away with setting up and then eventually losing and dropping points and everything else, because you're not going to win premierships. And I agree. You know, if we'd have gone there, laid a glove on them, played well, peppered their goalkeeper would have done brilliant saves, would have hit the post, whatever, penalty shouts, shots on target, and we get beat by a welder, you hold your hands up. You go, well, okay, we give it a go.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Liverpool now know that we're not going to hand them this title. They now know that we mean business. Liverpool probably finished that game and gone, we've got nothing to worry about. Let's go get Isak. Let's go get Isak. Man City,
let's move our attention to Chelsea.
Yeah, Man City's probably look at that game and gone, oh, do you know what? I know we've been beaten by Spurs and Brighton, but we've just watched Arsenal, like all their coaching staff.
Supposed to be the title challengers.
And thought, we ain't. They're not really much. We ain't got nothing to worry about there.
Yeah.
So no one's worried. No one's scared of us now.
Yeah,
no one's scared of us.
I got pelters on my channel. Well, not pelters. A couple of people said, someone went into the comments after the video, said, what are you talking about with you'd rather lose 3-2 than have a 0-0 draw where you don't have a shot on target? Because I said, and all I said was I'd almost rather, this is before the game, like in the week leading up to the Liverpool game, I'd almost rather lose the way Newcastle did, you know, battering them and then they break away and score, than have a 0-0 where we go there and show that we don't have what it takes to win. I didn't know that it would turn out exactly that way, that we would go. I had a feeling we'd go there and not try. But, that people are starting to, a lot of people have said since that, oh, yeah, if we had a loss 3-2, you know, you go fair enough. But I genuinely think that if we had gone there, like DJB said, and battered them, and it was 2-2, and it was like the old City Liverpool games, when they were going for it, and it'd be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then Szoboszlai scores that goal in the 83rd minute, and we can't get back into it. I think that would have scared Liverpool more than us drawing 0-0 the way we played. If he hadn't scored it, that would have scared them more. They would have gone, oh shit, this is a different Arsenal. They're looking at us now going, didn't have to break a sweat. Didn't have to break.
Do you know what as well, Shane? What does it sort of say? If you go to Liverpool and you outplay them in that fixture, you probably, one, are definitely a good side if you're going there and doing that. But two, you probably will win a lot of football matches if you can go away at Liverpool and outplay them and get results. Or maybe not, obviously, because it's 3-2 loss, obviously, what you're saying. But if you can go to these grounds and play well and outperform them and give them a really good game and just be unlucky on the night, you'll probably do really well in all the other games. If you're going there and just stinking out and holding for a draw, that don't really say much about what you can do. Yeah, it says you can pot the bus, you know what I mean? In big games, you can be defensively and pragmatic in that sort of sense, but it don't really say much else about what you've got facing the other 19 sides. Exactly. Exactly, yeah. So I'd be more confident in my side for the next 35 Premier League games, having gone to Liverpool, attacked them, bested them in a lot of areas, just unfortunately the scoreline. So I'll go, don't worry, when we play Nottingham Forest next week, if we play like that way at Liverpool, I'm confident that we'll go at home to Nottingham Forest, but it's not that. And that's the point you're making, isn't it?
But the way you have to look at it as well is, do you think in the return fixture that Liverpool will come with 4 centre-backs and 3 defensive midfielders? No, they won't. No, they won't.
No way.
They'll come and have a go at us. They'll come and have a go at us. And if you look at last season, Forest went to Anfield very early in the season and beat them 1-0. And quite comfortably, Liverpool had chances, but they kept counter-attack. They scared them every time they counter-attacked them. When Liverpool played them at the City Ground then later in the season, the first half, Liverpool weren't at the races. They were really timid, and Forest took the lead. It wasn't until Jota came on and scored with his first touch from a corner from, I think it was Simicas's corner as well. It was his first touch. He whipped the corner in and Jota scored, and Liverpool came right back into it. But in the first half, Liverpool were quite timid because Forest had gone to Anfield and beaten them. It was playing on their mind, and they were a bit timid. And Forest got the better of them, and they were playing them off the park. People don't think that these days, it all makes a difference. It all makes a difference. I always refer back to 97, 98 when we beat United at Highbury. All the Arsenal players, when you hear them talking now, and the United players say that was the moment they realised that Arsenal were in with a shout, that this was a different Arsenal that they had ever faced before. We had no Bergkamp, and Elka scored his first league goal, drilled it in against Michael. Not only did we beat them, we went 2-0 up, and then they hit us with 2 sucker punches right before half-time. And normally the champions, when they do that, they go on then to win the game. And we resettled at half-time, came out, Platt scored from a corner. Now, we went on a bit of a bad run over the Christmas period, but then when we went to Old Trafford, we knew we could beat them. And we hadn't beaten them at Old Trafford since the Premier League's inception. And we did. We beat them 1-0. We had plenty of chances in that game, by the way. United had a load too, but Alex Manninger was pulling offside, or David Seaman, I think was that day. No, it was Manninger. But Overmars scored. And then we knew, right, we have them. We knew we had them then. And they knew we had them. They probably wouldn't have hit it at the time, but deep down, they knew we had them. Because we went there and we did them. So I was saying in the lead up to the Liverpool game, this is more than 3 points. People need to remember that. It's laying down a marker, man. It's saying, right, you prick. You know that. You know what we can do now. But Liverpool must have seen our team sheet and gone, fuck this, man. They're not serious. They're not serious. That's not serious. Chelsea would have looked and gone, like I'd say if you talk to a Liverpool player and he didn't, he says, well, is this off the record? You'd say, who's your biggest challenger? They'd probably say Chelsea. It's Chelsea or City. They wouldn't say Arsenal. And I'm not just saying that. Like people have this idea that we're going to. You can't have watched our first 3 games and think that. You just can't. United, we had 2 shots on target. Do you know what I mean? One of them was a corner, of course. The only shot on target against Liverpool was a P roller from Matt Wakey. You can't play that way in a season with all these players. And I'm even getting all these people now saying, oh, during the England match, the link up between Madueke and Eze. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. All right, number one, there was fuck all link up between them. So let's
right. We said this on the phone earlier, isn't it?
And the other thing is, Eze was playing next to him. What are you talking about link up? Eze's going to be thrown over the other side of the pitch by Arteta. They're going to be as far away as possible when they play. There'll be no link up between them, mate. So what are you getting excited for? So listen, Eze will come in. He'll have a couple of games where he shreds a couple of defenders and slaps it in. But he's going to get frustrated being locked out there on the left. Gyökeres is already frustrated. These are all things that are going to backfire on this manager. He hasn't had players like this before. He's systematically gotten rid of any player that has a bit of attitude about him. And that's why he has yes men. But you don't win anything with yes men. That's why you don't get over the line. That's why you don't go to the Etihad in 23-24 and beat them. That's why you don't, because you don't have players that will take the game. But if you would have had an Aubameyang or something, we might have nicked that. We might have nicked that game. He might have said, like he did in the cup final, like he did in the cup semi-final. So, I just don't see where people are getting this confidence from. And I do wonder if it really is confidence or if it's just, I have to put on a brave face now because I can't see any reason to get excited.
Yeah.
It's
Let me
ignorance.
sorry, D. Just before you jump in, I just want to respond to David, who sent in the super chat. And to be fair, you're not been rude with your point at all, and you're saying no disrespect. You keep saying we were there for the taking. I'm assuming, obviously, you're a Liverpool fan. The only reason I said that, and I don't know whether you wrote it sort of halfway while I was sort of saying my bit, but yeah, there for the taking. Like I said, over the last 10 years, I think unanimously people would probably agree in terms of the way you played at Anfield, just that fixture. You weren't at the races. I think you were there at the taking, and I think you. I don't know whether you're sort of almost agreeing with me, really. And you're saying didn't your manager come for a point? Yeah, I think he definitely did, and he did stink the place out, absolutely, and at United as well. What's the difference of us winning ugly at Anfield? Well, what I'm saying is no, absolutely fine. I think it was a great performance. It was a then people say it's a champion's performance, but you're champions, didn't you? You know, you done the business. You turned up. You weren't at the races, really. I don't think whatsoever. You only started coming into the game a little bit after the 70th minute, and then you just got the job done. That's what champions do. Whereas Arsenal Football Club, we didn't. We've turned up there, and what we were basically saying is we're not defending the manager. He only come for the point, and we're actually knocking the manager because he didn't even bloody get it. It's frustrating on our behalf because I've seen, like I said, for the last 10 years, Liverpool rip us to absolute fucking pieces. 7 of them 10 times. I've seen us then play really well, go in the lead twice, and then end up drawing. And obviously last year, no one really give a shit about because you won the league already. So yeah, I'm not knocking at us, knocking Liverpool in that. You've done the business. 9 points out of 9. Fair play to you. But you were, I just believe, I'm sorry, I do believe you were there for the taking. A great team, a Manchester City side on top form, you know, of 2-3 years ago would have won that game given the performance that Liverpool put in. If Arsenal title winning sides of old went to Liverpool and you'd played that way for 70 minutes, we'd have probably won. The same as old ones, the Chelsea winning sides, because Liverpool were poor on the night. The problem that I'm saying is, and the only thing is, I think Arsenal were poorer. If Arsenal were a great Arsenal side and put in a great performance, I think we could have won that game. And I think that's fair to say. And I'm not knocking Liverpool in any way, shape, or form. Fair dues here. You know, 9 out of 9, and you're only in first gear. But yeah, man, but big up to you, Dave, though, mate. All the best. Just a little difference in opinions there. But I think largely we sort of actually agree on most of the points, man. But big up, man. Sorry, DJB. Yeah, sorry. And you're saying as well, yeah, I wasn't happy with how we played. Yeah, no, that's it, man. I'm not surprised because you've got standards for your football club. But look at it from our point of view. You're champions. You know, it is at your ground. If there was any sort of game in the last 10 years for Arsenal Liverpool away where I thought, oh, do you know what? They weren't really that good. We should have done something here. And Arsenal, we bottled it. We had an audition and we failed it. Absolutely failed it time and time again for Arsenal. But big up to you, my friend. Sorry, DJB, there to cut over your mate.
No. I was just going to say, like what you were saying there. I mean, I think the reason why a lot of Arsenal fans were confident going into Anfield is because we'd seen our, we'd seen how Bournemouth played against them, didn't we? And we see them struggle against Newcastle second half against 10 men, and Konate weren't really on it either of them 2 games, and I just thought with the signing of Eze, picked the right team and we may have a chance, and missed out again. I'm fearing for Eze at Arsenal, to be honest. I'm excited.
Under Arteta, yeah.
I was so excited when we signed him. I wanted him sort of 2 seasons ago. I wanted him in a double with him and Elise at the time. But I'm going to be honest with you. I fear with him. I fear for Eze. I'm not sure if Eze's his man. I'm not sure he's going to use him in the right way. I'm not sure
he threw him under the bus, DJ, didn't he?
He threw him over. He threw him under the bus after 19 minutes. That was the first. That was the first sign. I just fear his man management with Eze might not be right. But what I have said with Gyökeres, I don't be surprised that somewhere along the season you'll see Gyökeres not even on the team sheet. I can see there being a bust up on the training ground or something. This guy's going to get frustrated. He's going to get frustrated. He has got an attitude. You don't down tools at a football club and refuse to play and train if you haven't got an attitude. There's something about Gyökeres. He's got a bit of an attitude, or he's got a bit of that side to him, and I can see a personality clash along the way. So time will tell. Time will tell.
Yeah.
We could be wrong. It could all be rosy, and it could all be glossy, and it could all be nice, and we go on to win trophies. But yeah, I'm a little bit worried about these players at Arsenal at the moment. If they don't fit his system, and they don't play the way he wants to play, and they do anything different to how he sets up, it's going to cause a problem. It's going to cause a problem.
Normski's got to bounce very quickly, isn't you, bud?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, sorry, bro, because I've got an early start tomorrow, and it's literally taking this weekend. But listen, big up, first of all to DJ, big up to Shane,
big up
to Aaron.
Before you go, Norms, and I will wrap with this in a sec as well. But before you go, someone, I can't think who asked me in the chat. It might have been Adam, it might be someone else about predictions for Nottingham Forest Arsenal. What's your prediction, my friend? We'll do that, and then obviously you can shoot Norms, and then me and the rest of the boys will do it.
It's all depending on what he picks. If the team that I want to see there, I probably think would win the game 2-1.
Yeah.
2-1. I think with Saliba out, probably new manager.
Mascara's the best centre back in the world, though, Norm. So okay.
yeah. 5-0. No. I'm gonna go with the 2-1 home win. And that's just based on the fact that Mascara's in there, new manager bounce from Nottingham Forest. If Mourinho is going to be the one that's going to come in, so yeah, I'm gonna go with a 2-1 win, home win.
Yeah.
I want to hear the rest of the people's ones before I go.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I'll get DJB's next, but just before I do that, Dave's jumped back in. He's saying yet again, as a Scouser. All right, mate, and a Liverpool fan. Sorry for destroying the accent there. I was glad to see Eze on the bench because he has killed us when he was at Palace, and this is exactly right, mate. Exactly right.
Exactly, David.
You get it. And when the away fans know it. When the away fans are coming out and saying, "Yeah, I'm glad he was on the bench, glad this," you've fucking messed the lineup up. You've royally fucked the lineup.
Man,
you get it, Dave. This is what I'm saying. It's frustrating that the way our side of the fence sees it, all the rival fans see it, but fucking most of this fan base they just can't see it, Dave. Come on, man.
All right, Moreno is a solution, isn't it? He's a
3-1 Forest. Mems.
Yeah. Okay, I hope Mems is wrong, but yeah, D.
Who knows?
What do you reckon? What you got on the old scorecard, brother?
I think it heavily It heavily depends on team selection.
Yeah.
If he goes attack minded, I think we could win sort of 2 or 3-1. If he goes fearful of Forest counter-attacking with Morgan Gibbs-White and players like that, where they can hit you on the break, they've got players that can hurt you on the break.
Yeah.
And if he's fearful of that, and he's got this sort of psyche in his head, then it could end up being 1-1 or 2-1. So I'm going to go 1-1.
Oh, we are in problems. We have got problems.
Sorry, guys. I'm going 1-1. I'm going 1-1. Yeah. I think Forest will play very rigid. I think they'll play 2 banks of 4, and I think he'll set up fearful of the counter attack, and we won't be able to break them down. I'm going to go 1-1.
Yeah, I mean we've got problems. We need to learn from that previous lineup, didn't we, Shane? And we've got issues, didn't we, bud? If we do actually manage to not win this game. Whether it's a draw, whether it's what's on your mind, my brother?
Yeah, I have a bad feeling because Forest for me are the best counter-attacking team. If they get a new manager in the next couple of days, they're the for me they're the best counter-attacking team in the country. I think being away will actually suit them, funny enough, and. It depends if he goes at Mascara, who is quick, by the way. That might help him. But, we do this with players. Someone breaks into the team. We say they're the best player in the world. And then it starts to get to them and they think that they are. But yeah, I have a bad feeling. And I don't think it'll be a draw. I think it'll be 2-1 either way, and it'll be whoever is 2-1 to will go 2-0 up, and then the other team will pull one back with about 10 minutes left, and it'll be whether it's them going 2-0 up. I don't know. When I think about it, I just hear that silence as the second Forest goal goes in, and everybody's looking at each other, and this isn't meant to happen. And the early kickoff, we're not good. We're not good with early kickoffs. We're never good with early kickoffs. In fact, we're never good. We're never good when we're the ones sort of leading the chase. And I just have a bad feeling. It's gone too much. There's too much of a cockiness around, thinking that everything's perfect, and we can see that it's not. So I will go out on a limb and say 2-1 Forest. 2-1 Forest.
Devastating.
New manager bounce.
Yeah.
Counter attack.
Shane, I understand where you're coming from. I've gone 1-1 because, as I said, I think the emphasis will be on us. But I do think Forest could nick a goal. And I think he's going to set up fearful of their counter attack. So we're not going to be proactive enough. And that's why I'm saying it's got a draw written all over it, this game. It's very similar to the Brighton, I think. Very similar to the Brighton game.
Yeah, man. I'm going to go with Norms with a cheeky little 2-1. More out of hope than anything. I'm not going to lie. More out of hope. This ain't going to be no 3-4, 5-0 like strumming that everyone seems to think it's going to be. I really think it's going to be tricky. And I do like what Shane said, almost reminiscent of how it started, I think, at the beginning of last season. 2-0 up, coasting, and then they got that goal back. And then I'll tell you what, they were really unlucky to lose that game last year at the Emirates, Nottingham Forest. I'm going to go with 2-1 Arsenal, more out of the desperate bloody need to get 3 points there. But yeah, look, we will wrap it up there. Big up to absolutely everyone that is in the building. Plenty of you in there. Still, we're only 3 subs away from 2K, so smash the like sub and get me to 2K as well by giving us a cheeky sub. Also, the 3 guys, they've got their links pinned in the chat, so make sure you go and send some love over there as well. We are going to raid over to LB with a cheeky Aaron raid. Other than that, thank you very much to the everyone that's donated, all the members in the building, and of course the world-class chat. We'd just be 4 geezers waffling absolute shite without you guys to talk to. So it's unbelievable the amount of support that you give all the channels. Please continue to do it, and we will continue to give the content as best as we can. But aside from that, big up everyone, and Arteta, well and truly fucking out.